Okay, hello and welcome to a tutorial on the mod called Mob Grinding Utils. So, first off, what we're going to go through is how does the mob fan work? So, let's go into creative. Essentially, the mob fan is just a fan that pushes mobs, and it pushes mobs directly out from the mob thing, or from the fan side. You can show the area that it's going to push, and if you activate it with redstone, it will spin and it will push through that, and it pushes with quite a bit of force. But you can also upgrade it with a total of 3 width upgrades, which increase the width by as many blocks as you put modifiers in. You've got the height, which increases the height by, again, pretty much the same thing, and the distance, which you can put up to 10 in and will increase the distance. And so with that, what you can do with one singular fan, so one singular mob fan will actually push all of everything that goes in here over to there. And the way that you make the mob fan is just with 4 stone slabs, 4 iron ingots, and a block of redstone. So pretty simple overall. You just need to give it a redstone signal for it to turn on and off. And it's just really, really effective. Another thing that you can use is tinted glass, which is just glass and coal, in order to have a witherproof glass that also connects to each other and prevents light from getting through. So we're just going to make a little chamber that's light-proof right here real quick. And now as we fill this last final gap, that will make it completely dark inside of there, which will, if we're far enough away, get mobs to start spawning, although we will have to make a little bit more of a thing just to add a little bit more darkness for that interior piece as well. But in essence, what this is this is your initial starting mob farm, so you can get a bunch of these iron spikes. They're really cheap. It's just iron swords essentially. All you need is 3 iron swords and a block of iron for 1 iron spikes. You can use 1 to 6 if you want to. Ultimately, it's not a big deal. Then you just go hoppers into a chest, and then what you can do is you just turn on your fans, and this fan is blowing, of course, onto the iron spikes, and they will not count as player kills for the mobs, but they will drop XP, which is good. And hopefully in a second we can get some mobs to start spawning. Any second now. We might not be far enough away. But in essence, mobs should start spawning. Although it might have some issues. But, of course, if mobs aren't spawning fast enough for your liking, there's a couple upgrades you can make. Namely being Dreadful Dirt. And the way to get Dreadful Dirt is you actually use GM chicken feed. Of course, there is also Delightful Dirt, which spawns creature mobs. And they spawn really, really good creature mobs. It's nice. Essentially, the way to get it is you need to feed this, which you make from fluid XP, which you get from killing mobs and using an absorption hopper to absorb some XP. You use some buckets of that. You use a bone, seeds, rotten flesh, spider eyes, and gunpowder. And using that on a chicken will give you a rotten egg. Then, once you've got your rotten egg, let's turn that guy off real quick. When you come inside, it will create a 5x5 area of Dreadful Dirt. So we're going to click it right here, and it'll give us a 5x5 Dreadful Dirt. We're going to fill up this entire bottom with Dreadful Dirt. Gotta turn the mob sounds down real quick. There we go. This is going to get quite loud, even with mob sounds turned almost all the way down. So, now essentially what we'll do is, what you gotta do first is you get your Dreadful Dirt, and Dreadful Dirt will spawn mobs infinitely pretty much. Light level above or below 5 will give infinite hostile mob spawns, and then you just push them over. They'll start taking damage from the spikes. But what you can do to make it even more efficient is to utilize something called the Mob Masher, the Absorption Hopper, and the XP Solidifier. as well as a jumbo tank. So, give me one moment. Actually, we'll go through how you make these. So, the mob masher you make with iron swords, iron spikes, block of redstone, and 3 diamonds. It's essentially just a modular mob grinder that you can utilize in whatever you want. And what we're going to be doing is just making a little bit of a thing here. So we've got a bunch of stuff in there. Doesn't really matter. But then essentially the absorption hopper vacuums up items and XP. And you make it with 3 obsidian, an eye of ender, and a hopper. So you need to have at least some diamond tools. But what you can do is right here, we will put 3 mob mashers, which are upgradable, by the way. And you use the upgrades, so you've got the Bane of Arthropods, which increases spider damage. Then you've got Beheading, which increases the chance of getting heads. Then you also have Sharpness, Looting, and Smite, which will do increased damage to, of course, all of those types of monsters and such. You can add 10 of each, which will give it quite a good amount, and they will all just add so much to the amount of loot that you will end up getting. Then what we can do is we put in our absorption hopper here. We are going to be extracting to the north. So items will go to the north, and then the west and east will both be fluid. One will be pushing it to a jumbo tank. One will be going to an XP solidifier and pushing it north on. And then what we need for the XP solidifier is an XP mold jelly baby. There's other molds from extra mods and stuff, but for now that's all we're gonna do. And then we also need ourselves a chest real quick, just so that we have kind of what we need here. So get rid of the chicken, then we're gonna put that guy there. And as you can see from us killing the chicken, we got some XP, which is gonna go right there. And now what we need is slabs. So slab. And this is just to prevent mobs from falling into our stuff. You also need to redstone power the mob mashers. So we're going to utilize a lever here to turn on each of them individually. Of course, you can utilize other redstone stuff if you want to make it all one system. We don't really care about that. So let's turn it back to daytime. Let's chuck all those guys away, and let's see just how effective this is going to be now. So, normal mode. Looks like we need to remove a pushing thing from... Actually, it looks like we just need to add something above these guys. So that is my bad. I forgot that I left a little bit of a gap up there, but it's all good now, because now we've got this guy taken care of, and now we should be able to just go back. And now everything will insta-die, essentially, the moment it hits it. All of the loot should be going into here. Although it's not, because... Oh, the slabs are on the wrong side. So, we want the slabs up top, so that the mobs can't go in, but the XP and everything. Wait. Does it need line of sight? It's confusing me. No. This wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, that's just my mistake being dumb. So essentially what I messed up is that they actually need direct line of sight in order to get everything that they need. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take 3 absorption hoppers, and we're going to have one of them be items, one of them be items again, and then the other one is going to be the fluid, which will be pumping our XP fluid into our XP solidifier, which will still be pumping these guys north with our jelly baby mold in there. And then our chests will go up here. We should still be able to open it up because it is glass right above it. We don't have to worry about that still. But now we've got ourselves essentially a fully functional, fully secure little thing. And if we turn it on, of course, utilizing the game difficulty thing, we will be able to just get infinite mob loot for... And all this cost us was some coal, some sand, some other random things, and honestly, not a whole ton. It's nothing insane, nothing crazy. Of course, we will be getting a bunch of random items in here, and these will be filling up with XP, but once they're full of XP, and you can create this infinitely. This is completely modular. You can add as many fans and rows of, and you can stack it vertically. You can push mobs up, down, anywhere you want. You can utilize different types of mobs. You can utilize different mob masher upgrades to get certain things more frequently. And overall, you can just get so much amazing loot from these mob grinders. So overall, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you want to see the ultimate kind of mob grinder you can make, then stay tuned. I will be making a video on how to make that. So GG's, peace, have a great day. I will see you guys next time. This episode didn't really go exactly to plan, but you know, it worked out, and I hope you guys learned something. So GG's, peace, and have a great day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.